and gentlemen, what a beautiful day we got here in Cottage Grove, Oregon. This is going to be the Friday night Western Sprint Tour show where we are going to be following my red family-owned number 18T. Welcome back to today's video. You got the Cottage Grove Speedway right behind me, and I'm standing right in the center of turns 3 and 4. This is one of the famous racetracks in the state of Oregon, and it's known for not having that outside wall being banked, getting wide, slick. When you run the bottom, you gotta slow down a lot, and when you run the high side, you gotta absolutely be ripping. Now, this place has always been pretty good to me. Won several winged races here over the years, but never actually in the 360. It was always in the limited. So tonight or this weekend, we are hoping to check that, off my list, and I guess you could say add it to the resume. The Western Sprint Tour format is very simple. We're gonna have single car qualifying to start the night, then we're gonna have a 6-car invert in the heat race. You accumulate points between both of those, and the top 6 overall go to a redraw, and then that's the first 3 rows of tonight's A main event. So it's important to be on the gas every time you're out there, get a good qualifying lap, move forward in your heat race, and start up front in the feature, and then from there you just go racing. So we're looking to make it a good one. I'm also gonna be running the BC Motorsports number I1, but all that footage in that night will be a separate video. So this is gonna be the 360 with Western Sprint Tour. We're looking to get after it, have some fun, chase a victory, and get our weekend started off on the right foot.
10.88 is quick time, and they're going below the bump. What's his name? Alberdine went below the bump and was a 10.883, and he just went just below the bump, and that. But everybody that hits the bumps like 11.1s, 11. Yeah, and just wide open, right through the middle. Yeah, you can see where it's going, but they're trying to enter below that bump just a hair, so they don't upset the car too much.
Well, just wrapped up qualifying. Got 11 total 360s here at Cottage Grove. I know another kind of smaller field, but as we said here in the trailer, we do not control the car count. We just show up, support, and race. Ended up 6 quick. Kind of like the Metford deal a couple weeks ago with Western Sprint Tour. Still got some good cars here, and the racetrack is just really, really heavy at the moment. I think quick time was like a 10.5, which is 3 or 4 tenths faster than we've been all season, and it is literally like right around the bottom. I don't know. I mean, the racetrack's definitely going to change, but if it were to stay like that, it's dang near impossible to race. The whole track's just like fluff, and you're all running the shortest lane around. So that's going to put us in the second row of a heat race with the invert. Not super happy about it, but we just got to try to make our race car better. Right now, I just feel off balance. Like I kind of tight to the center, then I get loose at certain points, and it just trying to get the car to stick a little bit better to the track and be balanced and not do anything too crazy. But heat race will be up next, and we got to move forward in that. All right, just about to head out for our heat race right now. We're kind of in a tough position here because we start second row inside, and I'm just hoping that my lane goes. We need to try to win this heat race or run second, and the racetrack is pretty narrow. Try to make our race car a little bit looser, because especially being now behind other cars, our issue of being tight in certain spots is just gonna get exaggerated. But heading out for the heat now. All we can do is what we can do, and that's move forward and try to be aggressive. was okay. All right, my dad just said he's happy that the car's in one piece. We literally almost tipped over there in the heat. Started third, ran second. Happy that we went forward. I was really worried that we might drop back a spot, or just, you know, it's easy on the inside to get freight trained if our row doesn't go. And we didn't, but I was able to literally pole shot the middle, split the car in front of me and the car on my outside, and maintain and pass the car technically and run second there. And then once we got going, it's literally wide open, and there is like a lane and a half on the bottom, not even almost two cars side by side. It is truly gnarly out there, and if you catch the rough parts of the track, you're in trouble. So I don't really know what tonight's gonna look like. We have a small field. We should be in the redraw, but I guess that's maybe an okay thing, because lap traffic is gonna be insane. Doesn't matter how much faster you are if the track stays like this. I think it might widen out a little, but I don't see how it could just go bone slick. But I'm glad we did what we needed to do. Race car felt a little bit better, and we're just gonna try to work on it now for the redraw up next and see what we pull. Well, they got some push truck vehicles and the water truck out here trying to pack in the racing surface. With how much water was on it at the beginning of the night and how hooked up it was for mud pack, it's just not moving up at all. And it's moving a lot of material, and since the bottom's been so fast like we talked about, you can't go anywhere above it. And there's a pretty solid hole into turn 3. So in a sprint car alone, it's a little bit gnarly, because you go in and you just start getting the hops and it just never settles down. So I don't know if this packing, I mean, it's all they can do, but I don't know if it's gonna fix their problem. It's almost one of those things, now that it's nighttime and it's cool, it might just end up being it is what it is. But at least they're trying to do something. But right now we don't even have a racetrack. We're all literally going around the bottom, and you can't go anywhere else. Well, the racetrack is kind of getting there. We ran the limited, and it was pretty narrow still. I mean, it maybe moved a little, and instead of us all running down low, we're actually running against it, because since we ran so many laps, or all the classes have around the same lane, it's starting to slick off. So even though you're loose to run in the good stuff, if you're in the slick, it's almost like you almost spin out, because you're tight when you're in the good dirt. But hopefully for us, we can kind of widen it a little. It seems like if there's going to be any place on the racetrack we're going to have to pass, it's going to be in 1 and 2, and you try to get a run around the high side and try to dip back down, because so far no one's been able to make the hole into turn 3 work going through it. So just going to be about keeping our car in one piece here and trying to run the best race possible, and maybe not being too risky but also not being too conservative. You almost have to let maybe other people try to be the aggressive one and take advantage of their mistakes. But we got the 5, so we're rolling off from the 3rd row. Not a great pill draw, but we're going to make the most of it here and just try to be in contention throughout this 30 lap race. Well, we ended tonight on the front straightaway with a $2,000 check here at the Cottage Grove Speedway. I don't know, earlier in the video you could tell, but I was kind of irritated all night long. The racetrack wasn't great, and we just didn't start the night off well in hot laps, in qualifying. Heat race was okay, and we made some changes there for the A, and we were just lights out. We were the best car. Luckily, a car in front of us dropped out. Tyler Drever, he had a problem, had to go to the back. So we started third, got into second, and then kind of just maintained behind the 2L of Logan Foiler early. And once he got to traffic, had to slow up. Saw an opportunity, was able to slide him, and from there, really just start to pull away. Lap traffic was gnarly. It was a smaller field tonight with still some fast cars, and we lapped a good amount of them. So my dad was actually probably the most frustrated because he thought I was going too hard, even though I had like a half a lap lead. But I was still just gassed up, and that goes to show when you race with the Outlaws, when you race with those guys, you just got to go hard all the time to win these races. But feels good to have the check and be on the front straightaway. We're going to push back to the trailer and get to see some fans and kind of wrap up our night here at Cottage Grove. Well, real quickly before we end the video, just want to give a quick shout out to all of our partners, starting with ABC Powder Coating, Fast 4 Media on the front wing, as well as Carson, Lafarge, Bullseye Design and Print, and Pit Stop USA. Got on-site screeners on the hood, Next Gen Def, QRC, Earth Environmental, Pit Stop USA once again. And then a big shout out to my dad, mom, the rest of my family, our crew. Feels good to be in victory lane. Tonight was just weird all around, with how we struggled at the beginning, and it's like we were off a little bit, but then we, like normal, kept our heads down, made some changes. Racetrack started to come to us a little bit, and then finally in the A, it was to a point where we could kind of race. It was still fast, it was still tough to pass. You had to throw some close slide jobs. Like, I probably threw a couple of unnecessarily ones when I was out front, but I was just going for it. I just wanted to keep going and keep going and keep trying to put as much distance between myself and the rest of the field. And I said it at the beginning of the video, but I wanted to get the 18T in victory lane for the first time at Cottage Grove in a real 360. I've won limited races here, but just for some reason had never got that triumph in the 360 with a little bit more horsepower, with a little bit better competition. It feels good to do that with Western Sprint Tour. Anyway, that wraps up today's video. We're getting better. Our moments are coming. We're putting it all together, and I'm just so happy to be in victory lane for myself, for my fans, for my crew, and we're looking to do it again tomorrow night and try to end the Western Sprint Tour season off with a bigger bang. See you guys all there. Deuces.